Now, you can sit here and if you want to brainwash yourself, dude, ask fucking ChatGPT, how do I brainwash myself? How do I hypnotize myself into success? Look at what it's going to fucking tell you. It's going to say, join a fucking commission-only sales team. And it's going to tell you, join something with door-to-door. All of the companies it's going to say are door-to-door companies. And it's crazy because people say that I'm delusional all the time. I know what I want for my goals, and I know what I want to make happen out of my life. And if you're in that same position, dude, maybe you do lack a little bit of fucking like pushing and whatever it is, but it's going to tell you to join a fucking commission-only sales team. And the reason this is so powerful is because they teach you everything as far as self-development goes. And this is why I like people call it a scam. I'm like, dude, you're dumb. You hear all these cliche things that people toss around all the time, but you actually start to believe it and you start to fall into a little bit of a trance when you get into door-to-door sales. So the way that I like to think about this is it's kind of like this. This is the pyramid. There's belief up here. I'm actually going to change it. I'm going to move it down here. And then there's faith right here. And then there's trust right here. With this, again, if you want to succeed in door-to-door sales, the minute that you understand this and you actually start to apply this into what the fuck you do, dude, you're going to be unstoppable. So belief, in my eyes, this comes from you knowing what you want, taking deliberate action on it, and not listening to the voice in your head. This is what belief is to me. Knowing what you want and taking deliberate action on it. And when you have those times where you're like, you know, I've been working kind of hard. It's been 3 days. I've been working kind of hard. Maybe I deserve a little bit of a break. That is the worst thing that you could do, because the minute that you slip up and you listen to those voices inside of your head that are telling you, yeah, today's just like, it's just one of those days. Like I could just skip it a little bit. Like why not? What's wrong with that? That's the minute that you lose that habit. You lose all of the trust inside of yourself. You lose all of that belief. You have nothing left inside of you. Now, with belief, what I believe about it is the more times that you take action on something, and this is by doing hard things, you continuously go and get yourself up. You get off of your phone. You go and do the things you know you want to be doing, but you don't do them. And this is the bottom pillar, because when you do this, you start to create that belief inside of you. This is like that thing that's going to help you the most, because you're like, okay, I'm starting to kind of believe it. And in my head, there's want, like, oh, I want to be, rich. And then there's like, no, I want to be rich. I'm going to make it happen. I'm trying all these different things. I'm paying for a bunch of different mentors, things like that. Out of those two people, this guy is 10 times out of 10 going to succeed more than this guy, because he has that fucking belief and that conviction inside of him that he knows it's going to work. So he's going to do whatever it takes to make it work. And the way that you do that is by, again, taking deliberate action on what you want, even though you don't want to. Every single day, you're not going to want to do the shit that you want to do. I never want to do the shit that I want to do, but I do it anyway. Why? Because I know if I continue doing it, I'm going to start to believe it more. I'm going to start to believe that I am that person that can have this thing. Over time, now you start to actually have faith. Once you do have that foundation of that belief, it turns into the faith. That faith is, you're like, I have faith in myself, and I know that without a doubt I can succeed. And in my eyes, I think that failure is fucking fake. Like, it's not real. Failure is the inability to achieve your goals. Success is different for everybody. Everybody sees success in different ways. But failure is the same for every single person. It's the inability to achieve your goals. And if you can't achieve your goals, it's because you didn't have any belief and you didn't have any faith in it. The one thing that you will learn the most in door-to-door sales is trusting and believing in yourself. Most of the guys that started in door-to-door sales, they didn't start out rich. They didn't have a bunch of money. They didn't have all of these fancy things that they had going on for them. Maybe, yeah, some guys, they had a chip on their shoulder because they had a little bit more money, and their parents were doing better than them, and they're like, well, my parents better than their parents. I'm better than my parents, type of thing. That's where people get that chip on their shoulder. Once you build this faith and you actually start to really have faith in the process and like believing inside of yourself, it's almost like it's outside of you. It's like a soul thing. Like, you feel this prosperous thing. For a lot of people, they don't even get to this point because they go to bed, they're scrolling on reels, and they go to bed anxious, or they go to bed feeling depressed or whatever. They're going to feel all of these different emotions. And those emotions aren't a bad thing. They are a great thing. If anything, those things are telling you that, hey, something needs to change, and I know that you want more. So why are you holding yourself back from that? That's why you feel those. The moment that you're able to recognize that and you flip that pattern in your head where you're like, okay, this is telling me something and I know that I'm not doing something right in my day. Because any person that goes through their entire day and does every single thing in their power to go after their goals, they go to sleep knowing that they gave it their 100%. Average performers always are going to have that anxiety because they think, oh, it's just going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen eventually. It's going to happen eventually. Nothing is ever going to happen or work unless you do. Look back 6 months from now. From where I was 6 months from then to now, am I in a place where I want to be? Most people aren't. And the reason for that is because they don't take that deliberate action. I'm big on brainwashing, meditating, everything like that. And it was so interesting when I asked ChatGPT, it fucking says join a commission-only sales job, like fucking door-to-door sales. It couldn't be further from the truth. That really is the way that you brainwash yourself into finding success. This is why guys go from broke to making fucking multiple six figures in a summer. And they don't even work all year round. It's because they're around a like-minded group of guys that all share a collective vision, and they fucking work towards that every single day. And you are a factor of environment. Just like people say, oh, this sounds cliche again. Oh, yeah, show me the people you hang around and I'll show you who you are. It's true as fuck. If every single one of these guys is going after a fucking crazy goal, you're going to be naturally doing that shit with them, and you're going to feel happier because you're doing cold plunges, you're going out and doing the hard work that you didn't want to do before. If I'm your manager and I'm telling you, hey, no, I'm not fucking giving you a ride home unless you go out and get one or two more deals. You're going to be kind of mad at me. Yeah, absolutely. But at the end of the day, I'm trying to bring out that full fucking potential in you because I know that you're not going to be satisfied unless you give that little bit of extra effort. And this happens time and time again. You know, I've also done the flip side. I'm not perfect. I had to go through and I had to learn this shit myself. And I took out a couple reps. I kind of I babied them. I was like, no, dude, like, it's fine. Like, if you don't really want to do that. Those guys, I feel like they ended up more sad because they didn't hit their goals. And the thing that I knew I fucked up on was I didn't push them as hard as I knew I should have pushed them. Yeah, they might have been a little bit mad at me or upset at me and been a little bit pissed, but no, that's not going to fucking help them. What's going to help them is you pushing them towards their bigger picture and their vision. Because at the end of the day, again, the more you empty your clip and give your 110% effort towards going after your goals, you're going to feel more accomplished. This is why people, yes, managers are stern and harsh in door-to-door sales, but they actually appreciate their managers. Because some guys, they've gone out there and they made an extra 100K just because I've gone out and pushed them. I said, no, you're staying out there. If you sit on a curb, I'm fucking leaving your ass out there and you're going to have to Uber home. Or, oh yeah, I really need to go to the bathroom. Okay, go get a deal and go to the fucking bathroom in their house. Same thing. This is why these guys actually have more respect for you, especially when you're leading a team. Now, when you have belief and you have faith, now you have trust. With this trust, you're going to trust everything that you do to a fucking T. If you say you're going to do something, you're going to do it because you already created that belief that you're going after your goals. You already have the faith that you can do that, and now you trust yourself enough that you are going to do that. Trust is very fragile. The minute you break it, and this is why if you fucking fall into the voices inside of your head telling you that you're working hard, oh, you should take a break, that's the minute this whole fucking trust, it's like a little wine glass. Smack it with a hammer, that shit is literally going to break into a million pieces. It's never going to be the same. And you're going to have to go through that and rebuild it and build another wine glass, essentially. And it does take time. But once you have this trust, you're going to feel this new enlightenment inside of yourself. It's so weird because you just know, you're like, I am going to do what I said I was going to do, and this is my goal. And as long as I give my 110% effort, even if I fail, I can still feel satisfied knowing I gave it my all. They always say, discipline weighs ounces while regret weighs tons. Think about a time where you've gone around and you've done shit that you were trying to go after a goal or something, and then you didn't really work as hard, and you look back on it now and you're like, damn, I wish I would have worked harder. Where would I have been now? It happens all of the time. You're not where you are right now because you didn't do shit that you were supposed to do in the past. And today is the only day that you can make that happen. Today is the only day that you can give 100%. Right now, in this fucking moment, is the only time that you can. And if this is something that you're listening while you're on your way to area, dude, today is your fucking day to win. You can win as long as you give your 100% effort. Give every single fucking door as many objections as you can. It's their goals versus your goals. Either they want to go back inside and watch Netflix, or you are getting your, whatever success looks like to you, your McLaren, you're getting your bitches, you're getting your fancy cars, your yacht. You're getting all of those things by just pushing through a couple more times. Is it going to be comfortable? Absolutely not. But is it going to help you? Yes. There is no downside, but there is tons of upside. What's the worst that happens? They tell you no, maybe they pull a gun on you. That's not the end of the day. No one's going to fucking shoot you. Yeah, maybe. And again, you need to put your goals in front of these people's goals. You need to show them, no, my goal is more important than your goal. You're not going back inside. The moment that you can do that and really pull yourself into your uncomfortable zone, that's when you're going to win. I always say clench and close. It's going to feel uncomfortable. Keep your fucking feet planted. You're not moving. Do not leave that door. It's gonna feel weird going through 8 different loops. And maybe you don't have 8 different talk tracks or 8 different aces or 8 different closes. Yeah, that's fine. What can you do? How can you add more effort into what you're doing? If you watched the last video about KPIs, you would know, okay, here's where I can work on these things. You go out and work all day, 9 to 10 p.m. Then you come back home and you study on that stuff until like 1 a.m. In door-to-door sales, it's like a sprint. It's like a marathon, not a sprint, right? So we're going to do this in 4 months. It pretty much is a sprint. We're going to be working harder than everybody else, everywhere else. We're not going to focus on anything else. No, bitches. I mean, you can do that on the weekends, have fun with it, whatever. But if you really are serious about this, you're not going to be focusing on any girls. You're not going to be focused on partying. You're not going to be focusing on any of that shit. You're going to be focused solely on your goal. And building this, you're going to be building this trust inside of yourself more so than anything else. With this trust, oh my gosh, dude, it's going to be like a crazy dopamine that you're going to be chasing all of your life. Seriously. The minute you have this trust, then you're going to venture out and you're going to be like, oh, I really believe in myself that I can do X, Y, or Z, anything in your life. Because you went through such a hard thing mentally, not physically, mentally. Because door-to-door sales is one of the hardest jobs in the fucking world, right? I'm not going to say that it's physically taxing, but it's totally mentally taxing. Because not many people experience rejection. And you are one of the very few people that are able to go out and experience that rejection and not care and push through that. I've seen people change their fucking lives just based off of the way that, they've been able to communicate with people. People used to be scared about, oh, I need to go ask for a water cup or whatever. It's like, I'm just grabbing that shit. I just got a water cup. Hopefully that's cool. Oh yeah, that's fine. And they don't care. They turn into, from introverted people into extroverted MFs, And it's just so interesting to see. Now, with that belief, faith, and trust, now you have like kind of the base pillars. The next thing that comes into this is going to be over here. You're going to have to take pride. And there's one thing that you are going to have to take pride in more so than anything else. You have to be the hardest worker. You have to be able to tell yourself, I'm going to work harder than everybody else today. I don't give a shit about what anybody else is going to do, and I'm not going to let anybody else hold me back from my goals because, again, it's like you're at the door. This person's going to want to go back inside, and I want to go after my goals. After the first no, do I let them go back inside, or do I push one more time and get a little bit closer to maybe hitting closer to my goal? And if you do that, you take pride because you work harder, you loop more times, you feel better. And what happens a lot of times with reps in door-to-door is sometimes you'll have people that are just absolute chotch bags smoking weed or doing something that's going to hold you back and pull you away from your goals. This is why every time I bring out sales reps or, I've been on teams, we kick the people off that are the low performers. If you were to go around and you wanted to be around a group of like-minded individuals and get brainwash yourself into going after a similar vision of everybody else, and you have a couple guys that are just sitting there smoking weed, how much of a disservice did I do to you? How much of a disservice did we do to you? A huge one, because now you have that shit impacting you. So why we're liars at that point? The best guys and the best guys in business and everything, they are men of their word. If they say they're going to do something, they do it. And those guys, this is why handshake deals still work with older people, because they say they're going to do something and they end up doing it. The day that you start being a man of your word and you become that, and you become a man of your word by having belief, faith, and trust inside of yourself, because you took deliberate action, you didn't listen to the voice in your head, and you continued doing stuff that took you closer to your goals, that's when you become a man of your word. That's when you become not so much high value, but you become this upper echelon as far as mentality goes. Because being broke is a mindset. This is why guys, literally even I had went from zero, like damn near $0 in my bank account to going out and being able to break 6 figures. Solely by me going out and knocking on doors and not being a little bitch to sit in the car. When you are a man of your word, again, you feel that highness. You have to be able to take pride in working harder than everybody else. that's really what it takes, man. Like, if you want to be one of the best, yes, can you sit there and train? Yeah, absolutely. But the thing that's going to take you further than anything else inside of door-to-door sales is going to be your mindset. The more you can pull yourself into that state of gratitude, you can pull yourself into that mindset of when, oh my gosh, I was on fire today. I had such a good day today, and I felt really good. And then you go out and you sell, and the next day you feel like shit. You don't sell as many, but then you go out a couple days after that and you feel that high again. You're like, damn, this is crazy. This is why Jordan Belfort, this is why all these people talk about NLP and anchors. Tony Robbins even talks about this shit. With anchors, it's almost like when you go and you're driving in the summer and you hear this song and you're like, okay, I'm vibing. In the wintertime, you hear that song and you're like, damn, I just felt like it was summer. Same thing here. That's why people do anchors. Write down how you're feeling. Record voice memos. Listen to it. Step into that reality. Remember what you were seeing, what you were smelling, how hot it was, the sweat dripping down your back, what your mouth tasted like if you had gum in. This is why people will sit there and they'll chew a certain amount of gum, and then they'll maybe pop in a Zyn. That's sometimes what I will do, a certain flavor of Zyn. But I only use that whenever I'm in like a high state of mind, because I know that okay, whenever I'm not feeling that good, I need to fucking pull myself out of that and go into that high state of mind. And that's what it's going to take in order for you to be able to go out there and push yourself to your absolute limit. It's not going to be easy by any means. It's not going to feel good, but it's going to be very rewarding. Because if you have to look back on your summer and tell yourself, oh, I knew I could give a little bit more. Even if you only got one more sale a day, you would end up with 113 more sales on the summer. If you're selling pest control, that would be like an extra 93K. Which, if you have a decent commission or whatnot, you're going to be sitting around $45,000. If you're selling window cleaning, 113, let's say you sell on the low end, $250. That's an extra 27K-ish. Just by trying to get one more sale and pushing yourself just a little bit harder. Just going a little bit past where you want to go. Like, oh, I feel like I'm tired. But you're like, but I'm not going to end this day on a bad note. Either I give it my 100% or I get one more sale. That's all you need to be thinking. Just one more, just one more, just one more, just one more door, just one more loop. And I repeat that to myself all the time. And that's really what it takes. It's like, okay, this person didn't buy, but if I would have pushed one more time, I don't want to leave knowing that. You'd be so upset. I've knocked behind reps where they knocked literally a day before me, and they were on the same team as me, but they went home. I go by the next day, and everybody that they talked to, I sold. And I sold 8 or 9 people that day. And it was like a half day. It was because I just knew, okay, just one more push, just one more push. How pissed would you be if somebody went right after you did, and all the people that you were like, damn, they were so close, and I really thought that I could have sold them, they got sold by somebody else the next day? How pissed would you have been if you walked away from that? So if you guys are going out for this summer, I want you guys to know, good luck, go crush it, keep your head up. It's going to be hard, man. More than anything, I really do believe you can do this. Like, you're listening to this, you made it this far, you're going to make it. Simple as that.